Folks, John Cena's career is officially over. What I thought about tonight's Saturday night's main event show, it was a great show. Don't get me wrong, it was a great show. But I see a lot of discourse on Twitter about, oh, Triple H fucked up. How could he make John Cena tap out? Folks, I understand your frustration. I do. But this is the part where I'm going to take you a couple of notches down. The match was great against Gunther. The match was phenomenal. Is it John Cena's best match of the entire year? No. No. After watching Cena and Gunther, I would say that's like probably top 5 best matches of Cena's entire year of 2025. I don't know what else I can tell you folks about this, but again, I understand your frustration. I do. Don't get me wrong. I get it. Cena's last match. Oh, how can they have him tap out? How can they have the fans go out that way all sad instead of being happy and having Cena win? I get it. But folks, you gotta understand this real quick. You know, John called this. Triple H probably went to John and he asked him, what do you want to do in your final match? Cena said, he probably told Hunter, Gunther is going to make me tap out. And that's what we got. Was the match great? Sure. The best match of the entire night, if you ask me. I'm going to need you people to calm the fuck down. I see, like I said, I see a lot of discourse on social media on, oh, fire Triple H. We want Vince. You really want Vince McMahon back? If you want Vince McMahon back, you are a complete fucking idiot. The crowd booing at Triple H at the end of the show is it's a telling sign of how creative was in World Wrestling Entertainment in 2025. Dog shit. If there was one word I can describe creative in World Wrestling Entertainment in the year 2025, dog shit. Dog shit. I'm going to sit here and keep it a buck with you. That has not been good. Creative this year. Now, I get it. It was because of John Cena's final year. But now you don't have Cena anymore. You know? Cena has been saying it all year. After December 13th, that's it. He's not coming out of retirement. He's going to end up being an ambassador, which I'm sure he'll be a great ambassador for World Wrestling Entertainment. I'm sure he'll be a fantastic ambassador. Sure. But at the end of the day, Cena called this last match. He called it. He wanted to tap out to Gunther. And that's exactly what we got on the show tonight. We will talk about everything that happened on the show tonight. There was a point during Cena's final entrance that a little watery substance came out of my eyes. Man, I'll tell you about John, man. I'm really gonna miss John. I really am. All day today, I was off from work today, and I was watching all of John Cena's 17 World Championship victories. I watched every single one of them. And then watching this entire year, which has some promise. Then the Chamber happened, turned heel. In my honest opinion, the second greatest heel turn of all time behind Hulk Hogan. Back in WCW in 96. Then you had the match with Cody at WrestleMania. I'm watching that match and I told myself, we was going to get another match between John and Cody again. Which thankfully happened at SummerSlam. Cena drops the championship to Cody. Then Cena goes on a tirade of banger matches with Logan Paul and AJ Styles, Sami Zayn. The catastrophe of a match against Lesnar at WrestlePalooza. Then we get Cena winning the IC title in Boston in his second to last Raw ever. And then having his final Raw at Madison Square Garden. As the later we got to tonight, something was just really telling me in the back of my mind, I hope Cena doesn't retire. But Cena, one thing about John that I respect the most about him is that he's been a man of his word. And I'm sure John will be a man of his word to stay retired. If I was face to face right now with John Cena, I would shake his hand and I'll tell him thank you for being a part of my childhood, growing up in the middle school, going into high school. John was one of my all-time favorites. Is he in my top 5? He's in my top 10 of all time. He's in my top 10 of all time. Absolutely. He is. Is he in my Mount Rushmore? One could argue he could be. Listen, about the whole Mount Rushmore is a subjective argument. It is. One could say a certain 4. Another person could say a certain 4 that the other 4 is not. One of the 4 people are not there. It's a very subjective topic. If I was to tell you who's in my Mount Rushmore, Flair, Taker, Austin, Rock. No, scratch that. It'll be Flair, Taker, Austin, Shawn. Flair because he's the greatest heel of all time. Taker because he's the greatest character of all time. Austin, the greatest superstar in the entire Attitude Era. And Shawn Michaels is the greatest in-ring performer of all time. You could say you could sit there and say John Cena is. I'm not gonna argue with you. Sure. You can say Rock, Angle, Hunter, a lot. Sure. Absolutely. You're entitled to your own opinion. But when it comes to people saying, oh, fire Triple H, or we want Vince back, folks, calm the fuck down. Calm the fuck down. Hunter's not getting fired. And Vince is not coming back. If there's one thing for certain that I can absolutely 100% tell you, is that Vince is not coming back. I thought Saturday Night's main event tonight was a very good show. I thought that Cena was going to win tonight. I said it the last couple of weeks since me coming back covering the shows. I'm okay with Gunther winning, but I would have been okay if Cena won as well. I would have been okay with it. But I did not expect Cena to tap out in the final match. That I did not expect to happen. But we got what we got. At the end of the day, tonight's one of those nights that we can't blame Hunter for this decision of Cena tapping out. I'm sure it was John Cena's call. We'll probably get a report of that within the next couple of weeks, within the next week or so, the next week or two, that Cena made that call to tap out to Gunther. And when that report comes out, all you people that said, oh, fire Triple H, or we want Vince McMahon back, you're going to look like the biggest fucking idiot walking God's green earth. I've said it. I'm sure Salamonster have said it. I'm sure JD has said it as well. This was probably Cena's call to tap out to Gunther. And if that's the case, I'm okay with it. Now Gunther is on to the next level of his character. You saw him at NXT UK. You saw him in NXT. You saw him come up on the main roster. I will not be surprised if Gunther ends up being Brock Lesnar's final opponent at WrestleMania. Which the way Gunther's being set up right now, Gunther could be the guy to retire probably not only AJ Styles, but also Brock Lesnar. I have a whole different plan for Brock. I want to have Gunther retire Lesnar. Sure. Would I have Gunther and Lesnar fight at WrestleMania? Sure. But after what we saw tonight from Oba Femi, which we'll talk about right now in a little bit, I want to have Oba Femi be the guy to retire Lesnar. Call me crazy, but I would. Again, I thought Saturday Night's main event was a great show tonight. We will talk about everything on the show tonight. 4 matches, which was a very good show. I thought that, in my honest opinion, I thought this was the best Saturday Night's main event of the entire year. I thought this was great. But if you guys don't know who I am Chris. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel. If you guys are happy that John Cena's retired, hit that thumbs up. If you guys enjoyed Saturday Night's main event tonight, also hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below your thoughts of the show. What did you think of John Cena's final match against Gunther? What you think about Cody and Oba Femi and the rest of the card as well? Let me know down below in the comments. And also, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on those both guys for all notifications. Raw Review is live on the channel right now. I did not cover SmackDown last night because I was not right mentally. So, I'm okay, by the way. I'm fine now. But I did not cover SmackDown last night. But I am covering the show tonight. Also, I am covering Monday Night Raw this upcoming Monday. I'm sure Gunther will cut a promo on Cena and his retirement on Raw this Monday. Link to the Raw Review will be down below in the description of this very video. If you guys are new to the channel, this is the official home of the Near Fall Podcast. Make sure you guys are following me on social media. Twitter at NowThisNotChris and TikTok Good Vibes Chris with 2 S's and 1 underscore. And please, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on those bells, guys, for all notifications. Let's talk about Saturday night's main event tonight from the Capital One Arena. From the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. Saturday night's main event tonight kicked off with Oba Femi going up against the current WWE Champion, Mr. Cody Rhodes. Mr. Cody Rhodes himself. I'll say this though about Cody Rhodes and Oba Femi. They put on a great match. They went a little short. They went about 10 minutes. But for the 10 minutes that Cody and Oba Femi got tonight, I thought it was great. You could have gave me another 10 minutes. Would have been a classic of a match. Would have been great. Now, I predicted Oba Femi to be Cody here. That was not the case. But the ruler, down there early, on the early ones of the matchup, tossing the American Nightmare from turnbuckle to turnbuckle and even hitting a devastating backbreaker. One misstep by the NXT Champion allowed Rhodes to finally execute his signature power slam and Cody cutter, but Femi kicked out at 2. Near fall there. The ruler wouldn't be kept down long as he countered Rhodes' attempt at a clothesline into a massive spinebuster, followed by a huge running uppercut onto the announce table. Now, I think that was a spot where Cody ended up bleeding, I believe, at some point during that match. He did during the announce table spot. Concern began mounting for Rhodes as the crowd serenaded Femi with chants, but the undisputed champion, Cody Rhodes, went for broke and hit an avalanche Cody cutter. Just when the match was getting really, really good, McIntyre arrived on the scene and attacked Rhodes to force a no contest, but the Scottish psychopath paid for it as Rhodes and Femi teamed up to attack him. Rhodes dropped McIntyre with a Cody cutter. Femi leveled him with a choke slam, and the two champions took turns raising each other's arms and shook hands before exiting the ring, and the match came to a close from there. So Cody obviously won by disqualification. Well, obviously it went to no contest. The match went to no contest here. But not Gunther. We'll talk about Gunther a little bit. Oba Femi looked absolutely great in this match against Cody. He looked phenomenal tonight. Let me say this now. I said it on the opening of the show. I think Oba Femi is going to be the guy to retire Brock. Now, there's rumors going around. There is rumors going around that Lesnar could retire at SummerSlam next year, which SummerSlam will take place at the U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota, which is where Brock Lesnar's from. I could see Oba Femi being the guy to retire Brock Lesnar, which could literally put on the rocket strap for Oba Femi. I think Oba Femi has a great look. He has it. He's great in the ring. He can cut a promo. I did watch SmackDown on Friday. I didn't cover the show, but I did watch It's a Bit on Twitter. And I saw clips on YouTube. I thought Oba Femi out promo Cody Rhodes. I thought he did. I thought, obviously, Cody cuts a great promo, obviously. But Oba Femi, man, let me tell you. If there's a couple of guys in NXT that I would call the future of World Wrestling Entertainment, it'd be Oba Femi, Ricky Saints, Javon Evans, and if they bring him up to NXT, Leon Slater. There's a lot of guys in NXT, including the 4 names that I mentioned. They could be really big players on the main roster. I think so. I think Oba Femi is great. He has that great look. He has it. And let me tell you, that crowd, when Oba Femi came out, he looked like $1,000,000. The crowd was singing along with his theme. That silhouette when he was in the ring carrying the NXT Championship. It was just a great presentation for Oba Femi. He looks phenomenal. I want to see him on the main roster. Now, when does he get called up? I don't know. But, brother, Oba Femi has it. And I think he's the future of the company. At the age, mind you, he's only 26 years old. That's the crazy part about it. He hasn't even hit his prime yet. Which is insane to see. I love to see people like Oba Femi go up like that. I absolutely love it. But the match with Cody was great. It was a really good showcase for him. And I hope 2026 is a good year creatively for WWE. But Oba Femi tonight, he showed out against Cody. He showed out completely against the current WWE Champion. Up next, we got Sol Ruca going up against Bayley, role model. You didn't hear me say it? Role model. There you go. One of NXT's brightest stars, Sol Ruca picked up arguably the biggest win of her career as she knocked off Bayley in a thriller bout. This match was great. Again, this was another showcase match, not only for Oba Femi, also for Sol Ruca. They are really, really high on her up in NXT. They are really, really high on her. Bayley used the mat technician skills to keep Ruca off balance early with the athleticism of Ruca, allowed her to escape one of her holds with ease, impressing the veteran. The two rolled to the outside, but Ruca's attempt at a moonsault backfired as the role model timed their opponent, avoided it, and hit a huge running forearm strike. Ruca nailed Bayley with a Sasuke special, but the veteran Bayley overcame it and landed a rose plant. Great move there by Bayley. Sol Ruca, however, Bayley got her foot on the bottom rope just before the 3 count. Bayley went for a signature top rope elbow drop, but Ruca countered into Soul Snatcher. I love her. Listen, I want to say this now about Ruca's finishing move. It looks great. I love the Soul Snatcher. I do. Bayley played possum as she nearly rolled out of the ring, but her attempt at a roll-up was countered as Ruca secured the ring with a roll-up of her own and got the victory over Bayley. Following the match, Bayley and Ruca shook hands, and after being joined by Lara Valkyria and Zara, they received a standing ovation from the WWE Universe. This match was great. Listen, Bayley may have taken a back seat here. She may have taken a back seat here, especially creatively, because she deserves so much better. But one thing I can respect so much about Bayley, who I love and adore so much, is Bayley, is that she's willing to put the division first, and that I can appreciate. She sees the up and coming women down in NXT trying to make their way up to the main roster. Bayley cares about the division. Bayley didn't really need this win tonight against Sol Ruca. She didn't. And I said it on my preview and predictions on Raw this past Monday. I predicted Sol Ruca would beat Bayley. I would have thought so. And thank God that was the case here. Thank God that was the case. Sol Ruca, man, listen, she is very athletic. She is. I don't know that much about her, but this is the first time I'm seeing Sol Ruca in a ring, in a little bit. I've been watching NXT here and there, but I don't really watch it that regularly. But Sol Ruca, man, let me tell you, she's gonna be a monster on the main roster. She's gonna kill it for sure. She also deserves a call up from NXT. Next up, we got the World Tag Team Champions, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, going up against Javon Evans and Leon Slater. Leon Slater is the TNA X Division champion, and Javon Evans is the youngest Iron Survivor winner. I did not know that Leon Slater was 21 years old. I didn't know that. I knew Javon Evans was 21. I knew that. But I did not know that Leon Slater was 21 also. And from England. So good on him. Good on him. I heard that the match that Javon Evans and Leon Slater had, what was it? I think it was either Bound for Glory or the last pay-per-view that TNA had. I heard they had a banger of a match. I heard they had a banger of a match back in TNA. So, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, the match began with a frantic pace as Javon Evans and Leon Slater used their incredible athleticism to dive over the top rope onto their opponents to send the crowd into an early frenzy. Great spot there. Lee and Styles used their veteran savvy to bounce back, but a Styles clash attempt on Slater was thwarted by Evans. The Phenomenal One fought back after a magnificent Swanton 450 by Slater, but his attempt at a Phenomenal Forearm was backfired. Slater was unable to capitalize as his splash was countered into a match-ending Styles clash. Styles picked at the 1-2-3, following the bout the four competitors embrace in a tremendous show of respect as Styles, Lee, Slater, and Javon Evans showed love to each other, and the match came to a close from there. I seen the match, it was phenomenal. Could they have used more time? Sure. They could have used more time. Absolutely, my honest opinion. They could have used more time, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I predicted Styles and Lee would win this match, which they didn't. I don't think Styles and Lee are going to lose a tag team title anytime soon. I don't think so, at least in my honest opinion. But let me tell you, I think Javon Evans, he's going to be a major player also on the main roster when he gets called up, as long as creative is there, God willing, next year. The crazy thing about Javon Evans is he's 21 years old. Crazy. He's young. Very young. He's got his whole life ahead of him. Whole life ahead of him. Leon Slater, he's great. He's great. This is my first time seeing Leon Slater. I think he's a great wrestler. I think he's great. But also, again, I said earlier, I didn't know he was 21 years old. But, wow. Those two men, Evans and Slater, man. Listen. The younger the better. The younger the better when it comes to wrestlers. They got a whole future ahead of them. As long as they're on the right path, on the right step, on the right direction. Styles and Lee, they're a great tag team. They're not really I wouldn't say they're an official tag team, but at the same time they are. But they work good together. They do. The match that they had tonight with Javon Evans and Leon Slater was great. Phenomenal. Again, could they have more time? Sure. They could have added at least another 5, at least minimum 10 more minutes. And again, it would have been a banger of a match. Now, Sol Ruca and Bayley, they went the right amount of time that they did. Oba Femi and Cody, they went about 10 minutes. Could have used at least another 10 more minutes. The tag team match with Lee and Styles with Evans and Slater could have easily also added another 10 more minutes. I wanted to see more. So far, all 3 matches, I wanted to see more. I wanted to really, really see more. I did. But so far, this has been a banger of a show so far. We got a great singles match with Oba Femi and Cody, great women's match with Bayley and Sol Ruca, and a phenomenal tag team match with Styles and Lee against Evans and Slater. Now we get to the main event. Now we get to the main event part of the show. Bless me. Ooh. John Cena. John Cena goes one-on-one with Gunther. Man, let me try to not get emotional here. I'm trying not to because I know this is John's final match. And Man, this is man. Like it's okay to be emotional. I'll tell you this as a wrestling fan of almost 30 years. People, they say there's no crying in wrestling. A lot of people will say that. Me, I don't care. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I do. But man, when John came out and did his entrance, you could tell he wanted to get emotional. I tried. I just couldn't hold it in. I just couldn't. To watch John Cena grow from his days in OVW to his debut on SmackDown on June 27th, 2002 against Kurt Angle in Chicago, I found it so fitting how Cena had his first SmackDown appearance, his debut, at the Allstate Arena in Chicago on June 27th, 2002. To Cena's final SmackDown in Chicago. I found that so crazy how that works. And then Cena has a lot of history in that building in Chicago. He has a lot of history. He made his debut there against Kurt Angle. He freaking debuted the Spinner Championship in 2005 after beating JBL at WrestleMania 21. He had one of his greatest matches ever in that building against CM Punk at Money in the Bank in 2011. My honest opinion, that's his best match ever. That's my number one match with John Cena. Although he lost the match, although he did lose. That match with Punk in Chicago at 2011 at Money in the Bank was an all-time classic. All-time classic. I can go days, hours about my entire history with John Cena. But his retirement run this year, like I said in the open of this video, it had promise, and then as soon as Cena turned heel, they had no plan for it. They had no plan for it. Cena even said it in his interview with Chris Van Vliet. There was no plans for John to turn heel. There was absolutely no plans for John to turn heel. Now, that's one of the biggest what ifs this year. What if he never turned Cena heel? What if that part with Cena never turned heel at the Chamber in Toronto? Would his retirement run would have been booked a lot better? Yes. In my honest opinion, yes. I'll take a step further. I'll take it a step further. If John never turned heel, I think his retirement run would have been a lot better booked. A lot better booked. If he had more dates. Cena told, who was it? I think it was Bill Simmons on the Bill Simmons podcast. He wanted to do 220 dates. But Triple H said we only need you for 36. I feel like if Cena would have gotten more dates, his retirement run would have been a lot better. Would have been a whole lot better. And that's my biggest take. The fact that we only got Cena for 36 dates instead of the 220 that he asked for, I think it would have been a better retirement tour. A better retirement run. And I'll say this though. If there was an idea to turn John Cena heel, I would have never done it at the Chamber. I'll go a step further on that take on John Cena's heel turn. I would have never turned Cena heel at the Chamber. I would have turned Cena heel at WrestleMania. Pull a Stone Cold Steve Austin heel turn back at WrestleMania 17 in Houston. I would have turned Cena heel at WrestleMania. That's what I would have done. Now, to each his own, sure. What if The Rock showed up at WrestleMania? I think so. But again, I can go on and on about John Cena's entire retirement tour this year. Apparently, from what I heard, I was watching JD's Saturday Main Event post show while I was setting up for the review. Gunther was already planned to be Cena's final opponent coming out of SummerSlam. So, I had a feeling when Gunther lost the World Championship to Punk at SummerSlam, I had a feeling. Now, Gunther had a broken nose coming out of SummerSlam, and he came back around November when Raw was at the Garden, when the John Cena Last Time Is Now tournament began. You had a feeling on who it was going to be when the tournament was announced. Gunther already retired Bill Goldberg. So he adds John Cena to his list. I thought the match with Cena and Gunther was a classic. I thought it was a very good match. I thought this was one of Cena's best matches of the entire year. Cena really worked his ass off tonight. And as he should. He's one of those people that he'll sell for you. He'll sell. I love Cena. He's one of my all-time favorites. Thank you, Cena. From the bottom of my heart. Thank you, John. I do. I really do appreciate John putting his body on the line for all of us. And that is something I can 100% appreciate. Cena and Gunther to main event. Saturday Night Main Event. There was a ridiculous rumor going around that Cena and Gunther was going to kick off the show. Why on earth would you do that? Why would you have Cena and Gunther kick off the show? Especially when you had over 19,000 people who paid good money, by the way, to go to that building, go to the John Cena My Last Time Is Now merchandise superstore. Apparently they made over $5 million in open gate. But for them to open the show was a ridiculous rumor. Ridiculous. I would have never thought that Cena and Gunther would have kicked off the show. Even Cena said himself when he was with at the Pat McAfee show, Cena and Gunther is closing the show, which is all I needed to hear. So John Cena makes his entrance. Gunther makes his entrance first. Then Cena does. Legendary superstar John Cena took to the ring one last time and did what it does best, embody hustle, loyalty, and respect. After greeting the hosts of WWE icons at ringside, Cena brought to the fight to Gunther in an epic contest. By the way, because I really forgot about this, The Miz came out of nowhere. This was after the tag team title. After the tag team match. Miz came out saying that he wants to fight John Cena. Forget about Gunther. He wants to wrestle Cena. No. Then Ron Simmons comes out, R-Truth comes out, saying that the Miz really toyed with the tumbler. It was supposed to be Joe Hendry, I think. Not that Joe Hendry's name was popped up. That Ron Simmons had the ball. That was supposed to be Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry comes out. They have a whole little shtick. 5-knuckle shuffle. They're in there. Boom, boom, boom. Get the Miz out of my goddamn television now. Please and thank you. So from there we got to the main event. A whole bunch of video packages from Taker, Rock, the whole roster, Punk, Cody, the entire women's division, the whole men's division, showing love and paying tribute to John. Main event. Gunther makes his entrance first, then Cena follows after. Cena had a long entrance. He wanted to soak everything in, soak up the crowd's energy to get ready for the match. Ring introductions are there. Lillian Garcia made a really good introduction for John Cena and Gunther as well. The ring general tried to bother Cena, but the crowd refused to resent and fired up the 17-time world champion, leading to a 5-knuckle shuffle. You can't see me. Gunther, however, countered the attitude adjustment with a German suplex. Gunther tried to lock in a sleeper hold with Cena countered expertly into an STFU, but the towering Austrian muscled out of it and hit a power bomb. Despite the crowd jurying him all night, I can't believe Peacock had the nerve to bleep out, "Fuck you, Gunther." Peacock, let it slide. It's John's final match. I get it. but let it slide. Just for this one night. Despite the crowd talking shit to Gunther all night, Gunther began to impose his will on Cena with multiple clotheslines and clubbing blows. But Cena refused to give up and continued the battle. Gunther dragged Cena to the outside and attempted to slam through the announce table from on top of the steel steps, but Cena countered his opponent with an earth-shattering attitude adjustment through the table. Great spot there. Cena hit a huge leg drop in the top rope, but Gunther countered another 5-knuckle shuffle attempt with a big boot and a power bomb. Gunther's inducing flying slam was countered when John Cena scaled the ropes to hit an avalanche AA. I thought the match from there was over, but it wasn't enough to win his final match, as Cena picked up a 2 count, a near fall. Now, another A attempt went away when as Gunther countered as the ring general locked in his dangerous sleeper hold. Somehow Cena broke free from Gunther's clutches after a few agonizing minutes and executed another AA, but Gunther snatched the legend and locked him back into a sleeper. The ever-defiant Cena began to fade, but he found a burst of energy which gave hope to the sold-out crowd in Washington, D.C. Gunther answered by nailing several elbow strikes and continued to squeeze, forcing Cena to finally tap out. Gunther beat Cena by submission. Cena taps out for the first time in 22 years. I said it on social media, I believe, during the week. I said it on Raw Monday night. Yes, I said this on Raw Monday. Cena has only tapped out to 2 people in his entire career. Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit. And I asked on Monday Night Review, this on Raw Monday, will Gunther be the 3rd person to tap out John Cena? The answer to that question is yes. Gunther is the 3rd and final opponent to make John Cena tap out. I said it in the open how Gunther tapping out Cena puts him up to the next level. He's the longest reigning NXT UK champion, longest reigning Intercontinental champion, and a 2-time World Heavyweight champion. He has yet, and I say this cold-heartedly, he has yet to hold the coveted WWE Championship. I'm going to make a call right now. 2026, Gunther will win the WWE Championship. Clip it, ship it to social media. I don't care what you do with it. 2026, Gunther will be WWE Champion. Now, do I think he'll break Roman Reigns' record of his longest reign? No. But I am predicting Gunther in 2026, he will be WWE Champion. I think he will retire Lesnar. No, actually, I think he'll have his last match with Brock at WrestleMania. I think Gunther will have Brock's final WrestleMania match. And then I think Oba Femi will retire Lesnar at SummerSlam to get the ultimate rub on Oba Femi. Gunther wrestles Brock at WrestleMania in Vegas next year. I think Oba Femi is the guy that retires Lesnar at SummerSlam in Minneapolis, Minnesota next year in the summer. I think that's the plan. Because there's a rumor going around that Lesnar could possibly seek retirement next year. And if so, I have Brock retire at SummerSlam in his hometown of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Although he does live in Saskatchewan, in Canada. But Brock is originally native from Minneapolis, Minnesota. So after the match, Cena's just sitting there. You got the whole roster coming out. You got Triple H, Stephanie, Cody, Punk, Taker, Shawn, all those guys. All the Raw roster, SmackDown roster, NXT, some NXT guys are out to show John some love and respect. They had a long video package of John His mother was in it. His father was in it. You know, all the superstars are there giving John respect. Cena from there carries both the World Heavyweight and WWE Championships. Hoists him up for the crowd. After that, takes off his shoes, takes off his armband, his wristband as well. Takes them off. Walks down the aisleway. Gives one last wonder to the crowd. Salutes. And from there, the show goes off the air. John, man, let me tell you this now about John. John is one of those guys you cannot hate. Now, obviously, everybody has their opinions on John, especially during his entire career. But one thing for sure that I can tell you is that John is one of those people that cares about the future. Which is why he had a lot of NXT people on this show tonight. Oba Femi, Sol Ruca, Javon Evans, and Leon Slater. Although he's from TNA, but you get the picture. Many people will point out that John Cena is the greatest of all time. Sure, he has 17 world titles. Sure. One could argue he's the greatest of all time. Sure. Do I think John is one of the GOATs? There's no question about it, he is. But do I have a certain GOAT? Sure, his name is The Undertaker. You might not like that. You might like that. You might not like that. Some people will still consider that Ric Flair is the greatest of all time. Again, one could argue. Again, the GOAT conversation when it comes to professional wrestling is a subjective topic to talk about. It is, because not everyone is going to agree with who your GOAT is. Thank you, John, for everything that you've done for this business, for the company, as well. Putting the future first. I love John. Thank you, John, for being a part of my childhood. From middle school, going into high school, well, from elementary school, going into middle school, going into high school. John, in my honest opinion, he's one of the GOATs. He is. Is he? If I was to tell you this right now, John's in my top 10. John's in my top 10. The match with Gunther was great. I did not expect him to tap out. I did not. Again, I said it in the cold opener of this video. If I were to guess, this was John's call to tap out to Gunther. Tonight's one of these nights where you cannot blame Triple H for the ending of this show. You just can't. So you can sit there and say, fuck Triple H all the fuck you want. You can sit there and say, bring back Vince. We don't want Vince back. We don't. Now that Triple H does not have John Cena anymore, I hope that 2026 is his redemption year for creative. You already told John Cena's entire retirement run. Now, it's time to go back to telling story. It's time to go back to long-term booking. It is back now for Triple H to create superstars on the come-up and tell significant stories. That's all I ask for. That is all I ask for. You don't have John Cena anymore. You don't. You don't have John anymore, Hunter. John Cena, he's fully retired now. And I'm sure John will be a great ambassador for World Wrestling Entertainment. I'm sure he'll be a phenomenal ambassador. But when it comes to the creative aspect, Hunter, I'm going to need you to step the fuck up. Because this year was not good creatively for you. Was not good. Compared to 2024. Because 2024, you was hitting on all cylinders in 2024. With Cody finishing the story, with the story with Punk and McIntyre, and everything else. And everything else. But Hunter, I'm going to need you in 2026 to step the fuck up. And book your best matches in 2026. blow us away. Or not, I can't trust you, Hunter. I don't know. Again, I don't know what happened this year with Hunter, but I just said it. Hopefully 2026 is a great year for Triple H creatively. I thought the show tonight was great. I thought tonight was a great show. But all the discourse on social media about fire Triple H, stop. Shut the fuck up. Tonight is one of those nights where you cannot blame Triple H for what happened tonight. You can't. This was probably John's call to tap out to Gunther. This was probably John's call. And I can appreciate that and I can respect that. But if we find out that it wasn't Cena's call to tap out to Gunther, then everyone in the IWC has every single right to complain. But until then, let's just hold on until we get information about what happened. Until then, shut the fuck up. Enjoy John Cena's retirement. Embrace it, enjoy it, cherish it. Because John is done and he's never coming back. That is it, guys, for Saturday Night Main Event. If you guys enjoyed the show tonight, hit that like button. If you guys enjoyed the review tonight, hit the like button. Leave a comment down below your thoughts of the show. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on those bells, guys, for all notifications. Raw Review is live on the channel right now. Link to that video will be down below in the description. Also, in the annotation that you see on the upper right hand corner of your screen. Make sure you guys are following me on social media. This is the official home of the Near Fall Podcast, so make sure you guys are following me on social media. Twitter at NowThisNowChris and TikTok Good Vibes Chris with 2 S's and 1_. And if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on those bells, guys, for all notifications. I will see you guys on Raw Monday for Raw Review. Also, guys, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on those bells, guys, for all notifications. I'll see you guys on Monday for Raw Review. Until then, guys, I'm Chris. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the video all over social media, and I'll see you guys on Monday for Monday Night Raw and a brand new week of content right here on the channel. Until then, guys, I'm Chris. Have a good night. Talk to you guys later.